No one gets a joke. Alright, that's fine. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Danganronpa Let's Play. Today, I'm the best detective of all time. We do a bit of like sleuthing and stuff. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, it's time to investigate. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to her abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist. Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture. Well, if it's in my room, we should probably investigate upstairs first, I believe. That seems to make the most sense. Well, there's clearly these marks all okay, there's a lot of stuff. There's like marks all over the floor. Scratches and gouges on my walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? If I remember correctly, we switched keys too. That's true then. Oh. Yeah, because all the doors are locked, no? There's no way she would have opened it. Yeah, exactly, she never left. Yeah, what does Kyoko have to say?
What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious?
No, not really.
I'm searching.
What the does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Okay. Looking at the rent roller. Looks like there's way less than there was before. Okay. She was cleaning up. It seems like useless info, though. She stood up and said,
Listen.
"Are you a clean freak?" Nah, I don't really think so. Interesting. From one corner to another, I didn't find a single strand of hair. I noticed something while I was looking around before. It looked like the lint roller had been used, but I've never touched it. Well, isn't Miku like a clean freak? Couldn't she have used it? Someone could have used it to clean up the crime scene. Someone other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean. Was it Miku or the killer? See, that's what I said. Okay, can I go in here now? Looking at her made it painfully clear it wasn't a dream or an illusion. She had lost everything that made her her. Aw, poor Miku. Oh wait, there's something. Wait, what the hell is this? Okay, so it's Leon? Is that genuinely the answer? It has to be like a ploy. There's no shot it's that easy. Oh, okay. I hikey thought it said Leon. Because like there's like a little line there. I thought it said Leon. But okay, 11037. Okay. Yeah, I gotta inspect her up close. Sharp object has been thrust into her stomach. Where did they get that? Okay. Right wrist was broken. Something glittery. Oh, wait, that's the gold sword. That's with the gold, from the gold sword. How come only her left finger? Either the killer used Miku's hand in the blood and like wrote the numbers, or Miku like touched her own blood and wrote the numbers. What do the numbers mean? The way she wrote the numbers makes me think she wanted to use her body to block them. Means she must have wrote them by turning only her hand to the wall. You know what the result would be? The result?
Well?
Think about it. Okay, wait. Let's think about this. If she's writing it with her left hand, it would be upside down. It has to be Leon. It looks like it says Leon. Like I'm trying to think. If I had my finger and I was writing it like this, I would write it upside down. It has to be him. That has to be an N. There's no way. Like, if they actually wanted to say 73011, there wouldn't be this little splotch of blood in the center, bro. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
Gets stuck? So the door doesn't quite fit the frame. But actually, I'm referring to the broken doorknob. Huh? The doorknob?
That's right.
You didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away. Huh? The doorknob is about to fall off. Why is it like that?
It would seem...
Yeah. Oh, okay, so we gotta figure out who has their toolkit. Well, if they were trying to unscrew it, then they probably thought the door was locked. And then, I guess they figured it out. Okay, it said to go look for the programmer. Or whatever. Okay, Heike, the knife had to be from here, no? See? Oh, look, see, a knife's missing. A knife is missing. One of them is missing. Kitchen knife set. Can we ask her about the knives? Last I remember, they were all lined up in a nice, neat row. Okay, so they were all there last night. Alright, whatever. I still think it's fucking Leon, bro. Okay, wait, let's go to the gym. Nope. I just don't know.
Seems like...
Something doesn't seem right. Says Miku was killed in your room. Could it be the nameplate? This is definitely my room, but it has Miku's name on it. The nameplates were switched. So all the effort was totally pointless. Okay, dorm nameplates have been switched. Okay. Can I go into this room now? Okay, wait. Let's go into a trash can. We couldn't get the DVD. Okay, we got our DVD. Alright, let's ask this big fat chubby dude. Oh.
Most suspicious.
Okay, the trash room. We should probably go to the trash room. Why is the trash room so big?
Monokuma appears!
Oh my god.
No, you can't go any further!
Cleaning duty.
No, you can't go any further!
Shut up, Monokuma.
No, you can't go any...
Oh, wait. That is interesting, though. Because whoever was on cleaning duty would have been able to throw away the body. Or, like, get rid of the lint rollers that were in my trash can. So, clearly, whoever was on trash duty definitely did it. Alright, and here we go. Alright, let's see it.
Sayaka Mizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more...
Uh-oh. All her friends are dead.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to.
Okay, so basically just killed every member of the pop group. Okay, and they're not going to be on stage. Okay, I feel like that's honestly not that serious, though. You can have other jobs, like... Monokuma came to talk to me yesterday morning. Really?
Listen to me!
Probably realized I was basically in charge.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Oh, so you're on cleaning duty now?
That's wrong!
Actually, no. Then who is? Fumi was there right away, so I let him have it. He's on
Count
cleaning
on it.
duty. But we'll swap out on a weekly basis, so I'm sure you'll be up before long. Okay, let's go talk to Hifumi then. I'm looking for whoever's on cleaning duty. Wait, okay, so he hasn't done duty yet.
Here we go!
Wait, hold on. You need a key to get in the trash room? Only the person on cleaning duty has access to it. Why? As much as I don't like this dude, he is correct. Does seem more convenient.
So, in other words,
If anyone could go in and out of the trash room whenever they wanted, then destroying evidence would be easy. That's true. Okay.
Hey, listen.
Why'd you want the cleaning duty gig anyway?
Oh,
I decided to volunteer for something I knew no one else would want to do.
You... Is it, like...
Yeah, he probably would.
There's no way to think about this in a common sense kind of way.
Yo, this guy's killing me, bro. All my love is for 2D.
You know what I mean.
I guess, dude.
Completely unforgivable!
Why you try not to laugh, bro? That's disrespectful as shit, bro.
Yeah, this guy needs to stop, bro. Whatever
Give me a
you
break.
say, bro. Alright, let's see. Okay, clearly there's something on the ground. Wait, what is that? That looks like a sleeve? Okay. The cloth, it's the shape of a wrist. Part of a sleeve, yeah. Which means this is all that's left of some of the evidence the killer destroyed, yeah. Alright, let's check this. Broken glass. Some glass ball? Who the hell would have glass balls? Maybe the clairvoyant? Yeah, it has to be the clairvoyant. Alright, let's go to the gym. Let's ask the clairvoyant. 'Cause I think it's him. He's doing a really good job of covering it up, though. He's acting like he doesn't know. Does this look familiar? Ah! Crystal ball. But it's all smashed.
What the heck?
Okay, so he forgot it in the laundry room. Wait, I want to go back and check the...
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started,
Shit, I have no idea who it is.
It's time, class trial!
I genuinely have no clue who it is. I think it's Leon, just because of the letters. But it high-key could be him. It could be anybody. I actually don't know. Alright, let's do this class trial. I just know damn well it's not me. Alright.
Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Alright, it's time to go to the courtroom. Okay, I need to figure it out. In Miku's honor. Alright, in the courtroom we are. Okie dokie. Yo, poor little dude over there. Poor Taka, bro. He's surrounded by 2 dead people, bro. The air seemed to grow heavy. And so, the curtain on our first case to open. Okay. Okay, if we do it logically, obviously someone has to be strong, because there was tons of struggle. The sword and the sheath. Wait, no, it has to be Leon. Think about this. The sword sheath has the sheath on. It's like a baseball bat. Okay? Right? The wrist shows that she was like beaten up. That looks like it says Leon. There's no shot. Roughly 30 feet. Why is the 30 feet important? There's got to be a reason why the 30 feet is important. I'm done prepping. Okay. It's trial time.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Yes, dude. The killer is one of you guys.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Holy shit, dude. Can this guy shut up?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat?
Yo, this actually fucking sounds like Tedo.
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
Yo, I'm high-key nervous. Okay. Alright, let's do this.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
This guy's smart.
A struggle? Between who and who?
The killer and Miku.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Okay, kitchen knife set.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
Yep, that's true.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, that's wrong.
No, because it wasn't some random knife. It was the knife from...
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
It's him. I swear to God, it's him.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
I always count. Okay.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen. Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
Boom. Exactly.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Working together, I mean, it seems stupid.
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
That's true.
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
Okay.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Yeah, I agree with this guy. They're always withholding a bunch of information.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Oh, it was Junko.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Why would she come into the... What? Wait, why am I supposed to know? What the hell?
I got it! Then,
That's the only possibility.
It could have been Monokuma.
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual.
Did she kill herself?
When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
That could be possible.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
Something was missing. Shit, what the hell was missing?
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
What was missing? Holy shit, what was missing from the room?
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts.
Oh! The thing from the lint roller, and there was all that hair on the ground.
I got this!
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room?
Exactly.
It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind.
Is the object the killer broke was the doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken.
Yep.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
But if it was me, I would know how to open the door.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Alright. What is my evidence? The door frame. Okay, perfect.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Yeah?
Because Sayaka had locked it.
This isn't true.
No, that's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The switch nameplates.
I got it!
They didn't know it was in my
The killer
room.
must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
Exactly, it's not me.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to say.
Okay, then who did do it?
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then we all die.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
That's stupid.
Majority rules? Do you really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something.
I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yeah.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
I think Miku had to open
Maybe
the door.
Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone
God, I
doesn't know
fucking
his
hate this
place.
dude.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
I got it!
Because the keys.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place. Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
Okay, but then how the hell did they get
Her
inside?
being scared was a lie.
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility? I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Miku fucking tricked me.
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Dun dun dun! Yep, you're never gonna know what happens next. That's actually the end of the series. I won't be making another video. I'm just messing. The rest of the class trial will be in the next video, which will hopefully be out in 2 weeks. I'll try my best. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.